A distinct duality warred within Cora's heart. One half of her spirit prayed fervently that Billy would hurry up and arrive. The other half prayed with equal desperation that he would never come at all. But deep down, beneath the layers of anxiety and dread, she knew that her prayers were ultimately futile. It did not matter what she hoped for. He would come. He always came. And Billy was never, ever late. She had spent the entire night standing like a statue at the parlor window. She watched the darkness outside, her eyes fixed on the patch of earth where the dead rose garden lay. The night was too thick to actually see the withered stems, but she did not need light to see them. The image of that decayed garden was burned into her mind's eye, etched there in flawless, heartbreaking detail after decades of staring at it under the harsh light of the sun. She closed her eyes and offered up one final prayer, this time asking not for deliverance, but simply for the strength to do what she knew she must. Behind her, the old grandfather clock ticked rhythmically. Tick-tock. The sound was heavy and intrusive, like a stranger tapping incessantly on her shoulder. Cora refused to turn around. She refused to look at the dial to see how close Billy was to arriving. If she acknowledged the time, she would have to acknowledge the terror gripping her chest. And if she admitted her fear, she might lose her nerve entirely. She could not let that happen. Not this time. Slowly, the sun broke over the distant hills. The gray light of dawn spilled into the yard, illuminating the tragedy of the dead roses and the broken wooden trellis. Cora pressed her palm against the cold window pane. She tried, with desperate mental effort, to summon the memories of the times she had spent with her mother in that garden. She grasped for the smell of the soil, the sound of her mother's voice, but the memories would not come. They had been gone for so terribly long now, hidden behind a fog of too many years. Cora stiffened, pulling her hand away from the glass. She straightened her back and waited. The doorbell rang at the exact microsecond that the grandfather clock began to chime 7. The synchronization was so precise it nearly startled Cora. She took a breath, composed her face into a mask of calm, and walked briskly to the door. She opened it quickly, allowing herself no moment of hesitation lest her resolute crumble into dust. "Mrs. Fiortura." Billy stood there beaming a smile that was too bright, too perfect. His sandy blonde hair, his piercing blue eyes, and his gleaming white teeth looked exactly the same as they had the very first day she had met him, over 100 years ago. Time had ravaged the world, but it had not touched Billy. "Hello, Billy," she said, stepping aside to let him in. "How is my absolute favorite customer?" Billy asked, striding confidently into the parlor. "Fine," she lied. "And you?" "Excellent. Business has been absolutely booming," he chirped, "even with the present challenges to the global economy. Luckily for us, our business is 100% recession-proof. People always want to see better times, right?" He took a seat at the small table in the parlor, placing his briefcase down with a heavy thud. He pulled out a familiar file. "Well, I don't want to keep you from your business, so I'll just get the paperwork going for the standard annual plan. Unless, perhaps you'd like to upgrade to our decade option." He lifted his eyebrows suggestively. "It's actually become the company standard. It offers substantial savings in the long run." "No," she muttered, looking at the floor. "No, thank you." "Well, my philosophy has always been to give the customer exactly what they want. Nobody likes a pushy salesman, right? I'll get the paperwork going for the standard annual plan." He began to lay out the forms, whistling a happy, tuneless melody as he worked. Cora stood on the opposite side of the table, watching him flip through the crisp papers. She felt paralyzed. It was the same freezing sensation she had felt during the salesman's last dozen visits. She could feel her grit dissolving, her courage failing. But then, her mind drifted back to the window. She thought of facing another year staring at dead flowers, another year of being unable to remember the faces of the people she had once cherished, the people who made life worth living in the first place. From that deep well of sadness and exhaustion, a small, squeaking sound escaped her throat. "No." "Pardon me?" Billy stopped and looked up, smiling. Cora cleared her throat, forcing strength into her voice. "I'm not wanting the standard annual plan either. I don't want any plan at all." Billy sat looking at her. The uncomprehending smile remained frozen on his face, as if he hadn't heard her correctly. "I'm sorry," Cora said, immediately hating herself for apologizing. She turned her back on him and walked to the window. She knew he was going to try to talk her out of it, and if she looked into those ageless blue eyes, he might succeed. "Miss Fiortura," Billy said, his voice dropping to a professional, soothing register. "You're one of our oldest customers. You've been with us practically since the beginning." "I know, Billy, and your company has always upheld its part of the bargain. Physically, I've felt great for the last 100 years. Not a negative spot on my health that I didn't bring on myself. You have fulfilled your part of the arrangement admirably, and I thank you." "What's the matter?" Billy asked. Cora shook her head. Her throat tightened as she fought back tears. "I'm just tired, that's all. I'm ready to leave the world now." The words surprised her. Only after they hung in the air did she realize how sincerely she meant them. Billy was quiet. He stood up from his chair and walked toward her, moving slowly, like one approaches a startled animal. Cora could see her blurry reflection in the glass of the window. She had no features there, just a smear of a blue suit. "Miss Fiortura," Billy said, tenderly, "please don't say those things. Life is worth living." "Of course it is," Cora replied. "I hope people go on living forever, falling in love and bringing babies into the world, but I'm not part of it anymore. I'm just an old woman staring out a window at dead flowers." She choked on the last word, nearly weeping. Billy rested a hand on her shoulder. "You're still beautiful, gorgeous. Look in the mirror. No one would ever guess you to be a day over 40. "But I'm very old inside," she whispered. "I used to jump out of bed into my day, and I thought it would be that way forever. But now I realize I jumped like that because I knew I had so many mornings to do so. Now there just doesn't seem to be any reason in any of it. I'm just bored." "We can help that too, you know, and with much cheaper means than the life extensions." "I know," she sighed. "You can cure it all." "Yes, we can," Billy smiled, and the bright white reflection of his teeth stretched grotesquely across the window glass. "These feelings that are happening to you, they're not your fault. It's chemicals, that's all. Just chemicals floating through your body, no matter how real they seem." "Oh, what does it matter?" she cried out in sudden exasperation. "Everyone I love is dead. Do you know how I've spent the last 10 years standing at this window looking down at a dead rose garden? It used to be beautiful. My mother would spend hours grooming the roses. She was an artist with them. She really was. She used to take me out there when I was a little girl. She showed me how to care for them. They were the best memories of my life, the best, and I can't even remember them anymore. I can't even remember her." "All curable," Billy said with sickening enthusiasm. "We can have those memories fresh as the day they happened, or erased altogether." She jerked her shoulder out from under his hand and snarled, "You will never touch those memories." Billy held up his hands defensively. Okay, no memory work. But how about that life extension? You can go and make new memories. Think about it. The whole world is open before you. The time for making new memories is over, Cora said, firmly. This is the forgetting time. Billy paused. When he spoke again, his voice was very gentle. Do you remember the first time we talked, Cora? I do. I remember how hard you were crying. It was the day that your mother died. I remember it, vaguely, she admitted, though it's more like a story I've told many times than something that actually happened to me. Do you know what you said to me that day? You said that after you found her dead, you never wanted to look like that. Do you remember? What does it matter? What's changed since then? I have, Cora said, the way people are supposed to.
Billy wasn't done. Have you thought about changing your lifestyle? I've been around substantially longer than you, Miss Furatora, and I'm still happy. Do you know why? Because my work gives me purpose. That's what life's all about, purpose. I've thought about that, Cora replied, gazing out at the ruin of the garden. And I think that maybe my purpose now is to make room for someone else. I'm not scared. I'm so thankful for the life I've had, but nothing is meant to last forever. There are too many people already for some old woman to use up what's left of the earth so she can stare out a window at dead roses all day. I've seen all there is to see here, and I'm excited to see what's on the other side, even if it's nothing. Billy's tone shifted. It became darker, more urgent. It's quick, you know. Without a new extension, it will be very, very quick. All of these past years will come upon you in a matter of hours. Bones disintegrate, cells shrivel up and die. Even if you change your mind later, it comes too quickly for us to do anything about. Much too quickly. Cora thought about the reality of dying, the disintegration, the end. She felt fear wash over her, cold and sharp. But it was such a familiar taste that she realized then that fear was the only thing that had kept her going all this time. What a stupid way to live. What a waste. She turned and looked directly into Billy's ageless eyes, just to prove to herself that she could. My decision is final. Cora, I understand you're going through a rough time, but this isn't the answer. Turning down an option to mortality is the same as committing suicide. Call it what you will, Billy. You have your word for it, I have mine. Please, Cora, he begged. Things are getting better. Now that the population is stabilized, our services won't be so financially selective. We are working on becoming the norm. This will be the new way of human life. Imagine it. One family, here on Earth, together forever. What a world it will be. Cora remained silent. She turned away from him and pressed her fingers to the window pane again, looking down at the dead roses. I never thought of you as evil, Billy. Not until just this moment. The way you talk is frightening. You may have been on Earth longer than I have, but there is something that you seem to have failed to learn. Oh, yes? And what's that? No matter how big you or I get, life will always be bigger, and we should be thankful for that. I'm sorry to hear you say that, Billy said curtly. His warmth vanished from his voice. He walked back to the parlor table and snapped his briefcase shut. Thank you for your business, Miss Furatora. Good day. He walked briskly out the front door and shut it quietly behind him. The house was very quiet. The only sound left was the ticking of the grandfather clock. Cora stood by the window and waited. Not long after Billy left, she felt it. It didn't hurt, not yet, but she could feel the change beginning in her blood. She looked at the clock and knew with absolute certainty that she would never hear it chime 7 again. She waited for the panic, but she wasn't afraid. For the first time in many, many years, she didn't feel any fear at all. As she stood calmly at the window looking down at the brown, withered rose garden, something miraculous happened. A memory came back to her, one she had dearly missed for a long, long time. It didn't come back as a vague thought. It was so clear that it was as if she was living it again, right there in the moment. She was 9 years old. She was standing in the rose garden with her mother on a brilliantly clear summer day. The roses were in full bloom, reds and pinks exploding with color, their scent filling the warm air. Cora's mother was smiling. She handed her daughter the garden shears and placed her hands over her small ones, guiding them through the bushes. She showed Cora how to cut the stems just right. "You see, Cora," her mother explained softly, "cutting off the right parts of the bush at the right time helps give the new roses life." The little girl Cora stood quietly in her mother's arms, letting her hands be guided, listening to the lesson, and finally understanding.